Take a steak. Steaks are good, but what makes it really good is a solid sauce. Game juice is the sauce. How to turn this into this? Let's talk about game juice. Damn it. I know you've seen plenty of videos about this topic already, but I really believe mine can offer an interesting perspective on how to make your game feel good. I will even include a small tutorial on how to do something I haven't seen anywhere on YouTube yet. You probably already know the basics, add particles and sounds to everything. What exactly is that? Here's what you should consider. Our brains are kinda dumb, making things move will stimulate it. That's why we want to add particles to actions, especially the one we want to put emphasis on. Let's take a bowling scene and add particles to everything that should have an impact. Player jumping, landing, moving, his little jetpack, the enemy exploding, bullets being destroyed. The more effects you add to everything, the better. Be careful not to make big effects for every action though, as it could quickly become boring. Remember, if everything is flashy, then nothing is flashy. Yeah, that sounds a bit weird, but that's true. One other thing to keep in mind is that effects can make your game more readable. For instance, the particles of the bullet exploding are different if it hits an object and if it hits a wall. There, already feeling way better. Another way to make everything feel juicier and more readable are shaders. We'll get into that later. First, let's add some camera shake. You probably already know about camera shake. It will make your actions feel more impactful. So I'd say it better to add camera shake to the most important parts of your game and not just everything. Remember that there is a lot you can do with the camera. In the game I'm currently working on, called Your Soul to Endura, I had fun quickly zooming the camera in when the player successfully catches a ball instead of shaking it. I think it gives a nice little positive feedback. We got particles and camera shake, and our game is starting to feel good. But we can do more.
Always more.
Let's add some shader magic into the mix. You may have noticed that I already added some light and post-processing to make the game look a bit better. Let's add some shaders to change the objects a bit. I added a blinking shader to my player to make him blink red when getting hit. It will also loop when the player is low on health, because that's how humans work, right? I did the same thing to my enemy and made the bullet blink to make it more distinguishable. Very important if you're planning on having a lot of bullets. I mean, more than that. Now this is where another important factor comes into play. What your game is about will highly impact what you should focus on, juice-wise. I thought it was funny that bullets could collide in this little project, so let's say it's the main mechanic. Yeah, it's a bad mechanic, but you know, it's the main one, don't ask. I decided to put even more emphasis on that and add a shockwave effect when two bullets collide, making it super noticeable. It's important that you think about what your most important mechanics are and polish them the most, because adding those particles to your player is cool, but if it's a shooting game mostly, it won't add much. That said, adding transparent shaders with Unity's 3D renderer is not well documented at all, and I had to dig far into forums to find my way. In case you've been searching as well, here's how you can do it. Create a shader. Create a texture 2D and set the reference as _ camera sorting layer texture. Uncheck expose and plug that into a sample texture 2D node, then into the base color of your fragment node. Set the UVs to screen position, add this shader to material and then to an object, and set the object sorting layer to be above everything else. In your 2D renderer settings, set the camera sorting layer to the layer just below your new objects. In your render asset, also check depth texture and opaque texture. I'm not sure it's necessary, but let's do it anyways. Alright, last thing I did was adding some knockback to the enemy and the player to make it puncher. Now, I think our game is looking pretty tasty, but keep in mind that we can always do more.
More polishing.
And while adding a ton of explosions to your screen whenever you move might not be the best way to juice, some more subtle effects are always appreciated. Now, what did we miss? Ah yes, don't forget audio. please don't forget audio. I'm always baffled by the amount of people who overlook audio. Imagine this video without any sound. Yes, that sucks. Just like visual effects, you should add sounds to everything that moves or even remotely exists. Player moves, sound. Player jumps, sound. Player lands, sound. Enemy shooting, dying, bullets colliding, everything should have sounds. I used BFXer to make my sounds easily, but there are a ton of options for that. Last thing to do is slap a 10 seconds music loop on top of the sounds to make everything blend smoothly. And listen to that. That feels good, I think. Again, there's always a ton you can do to improve your game, but that will be it for now. If you want to see a video about how to make everything feel alive, that is very important as well, well let me know in the comments. Also consider subscribing. Thanks, goodbye.